Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Grigsby's War in the West, Operation Torch. Now, I had this for a long time, but for some reason I could never find the download for it, and I emailed Matrix, and they were so kind as to provide me with a direct download. I have some weird issues with downloading from Matrix, I don't even know, it's a long story. But yes, anyway, as of current time of this time here, I have surpassed 1,600 subscribers, so I thought I would start another series, and yes, especially with Operation Torch, when I just installed it, I thought I would try out one of the fantastic scenarios, and that would be the 4th Supreme Command. Now, the setting of this is an alternate history, which is fantastic. So here we go. On the 13th of March, 1943, Hitler is killed by a bomb planted on his Condor aircraft by Henning von Treschow. In the ensuing chaos, the Wehrmacht seizes power in Germany and declares a Supreme Command. In World War I, the period when Hindenburg and Ludendorff were in command was the 3rd Supreme Command, so that's a little bit of background there. This is a what-if scenario that has been written to provide the Axis player with the solutions to historical areas of weakness. The oil fields in this area here are much larger, and they also increased fuel and resources. Production has been streamlined to more key aircraft and armoured fighting vehicles, at the expense of multiple variants. Finally, Rommel has evacuated most of the Army Group Africa, which also holds the strongest starting position. The Allied player may retarget invasion forces on turn 1 and retain 49 preparation points. Now that's a nice thing for the Allies there. So, we are going to play the 4th Supreme Command, and I do need to make sure I'm going to play as the... yes, here we go. Right then, so we're going to have some options on here. We're going to have the Eastern Front controlled. Yes, sirree. Right then, difficulty normal. Yes, that should be okay. Computer controlled, yep. Movement fog of war, yep. That sounds good. Okie dokie. The 4th Supreme Command it is then. Now, 1,600, I guess. I couldn't really think of a name. Right then, so we are going to start off with the Allies taking their turn first, and they're going to run their air campaign. And then they will do their landings, or land operations if they have any. So, we do start in a much better position, which will be absolutely evident as soon as we get through to our turn. Now, we do have a huge scenario here, and especially as we do have the Eastern Front controls enabled, this will be the first time I have really used them, so we'll see how it goes. I do believe it's fairly easy to understand what is going on, so we'll work through it together then, shall we? So it's July 3rd, 1943. We don't yet have to worry about D-Day, so that's not too bad. Rather, we do have to worry about the Italian theatre. But we'll go through the information and the data that's precedent. Is precedent the right phrase? Probably not, I'm pretty tired at the moment. I'm trying to think of an actual word, and I can't quite think of it. Okay. So it seems quite a lot of Constance flights, they're doing some other raids, especially raids down here in Sicily. Yeah, so the Normandy landings was on June 6, 1944. So what I'm hoping here is that we can repel the Italian invasion and hold out, and basically turn Europa into a fortress. Right then, so we have lost 211 planes, the Allies have lost 628 so far. 422 to air combat and 94 to flak, and 114 to operational losses, so that could probably be weather, or possibly fuel. There's lots of little things that can go wrong, I suppose you could say. Right, here we go. They're going to launch their amphibious assault, and right, that's a little bit annoying. I can't take a look down here when it's actually going on. Here we go. Let's turn the sound up a little bit more. There we go. Right then, here we go. We're getting on to our turn now. Now, have the Allies actually made landfall anywhere? That will be important. If they have not made landfall, I will be able to secure my ports. At least, reinforce them. I am very keen to reinforce Sicily, though I do need to maintain force in Italy itself, and as well the French coast, and of course along the Adriatic. Adriatic? Yes, the Adriatic. I think they added some new music as well. Quite nice. I do hope it's loud enough. I was also looking through the files, and I actually happened upon some tutorial videos they embedded in the actual files, which is fantastic. So I think I should know a hotkey now that should show us the supply throughput, and I know how to build depots. I was wondering for a long time how to actually do that, but I now know. So with this newfound experience and knowledge, we shall put to use in defeating the Allies. And possibly taking Africa from the Allies. I don't know how possible that could be, but I mean, if we seize key ports, we could try and build up, or at least keep the Allies busy once again in Africa. But then again, I suppose Africa itself doesn't really hold too much value, if any value, really. Okay, so we can see here losses this turn. As we lost about 18,194 men, the Allies apparently have lost nothing, but they have lost 25,000. So I suppose that would have been the last turn, as it's now technically turn 2. Air losses. Right then, so the Allies have lost 687 pilots. Right, okay. Ah, right, okay, so they're now landing paratroopers. They have taken some losses there, 427. Yep, that airborne division, brigade, has been destroyed. And here comes the amphibious landings. Ah, it was too much to hope for. God damn it. Gala has fallen. I do have a armored division right there, so we should make use of that. I believe that is a Hermann Goering armored division as well. So I am going to have to put that to great use. We also have some Panzer Grenadier forces on Sicily, so we'll put them to use as well. The Italian Coastal Brigades. So we do have this airborne here. I would be extremely interested in destroying that airborne brigade before it can really cause any issues. Right, the Heavy A has surrendered. And Syracuse has fallen. That's not too nice. What we're going to have to do here is establish... Right, here we go. So before we do our air doctrines, tactical air, North Europe. Should I leave Northern Europe to command of the AI? I think I will, though I'm going to just favour air superiority. Ground support is not exactly needed in Northern Europe, considering the fact there's nothing to hit. So that's fine. Let's see. We'll take a look then at the situation in Northern Europe. Ah, here we go, now we have the proper music on. So we can see here... Ah, right, yes, of course. So as we can see here, we hold the coastline. There's hardly any ports over here, so that's why it's rather light on the ground. Then on, of course, the Grigsby. Right then, I am going to have to take note of these armor divisions in France. Right, some more Panzer Grenadiers over here, SS. We have some Panzer here. Volkskriegsjägers, they are superb. I will have them transferred to another front, to another theatre. Okay. Righto. Armoured. So a few armoured divisions. We have another one over here as well, and one here. Is that an armoured? That is a Panzer Grenadier division. Righto. We'll review defences over here, so we have fortified positions in mountains, Italian troops holding up here, holding Venice. Not exactly anything over here. That could be bad. I mean, there is a few ports along here. But whether the Allies will actually go for that, I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to see how things go. I may have to redeploy troops over there. It depends on the situation at hand. So reviewing the Italians, we have an armoured division over here that is not in any state. Right, morale's pretty low. Supplies are fairly... it's okay, I guess. Since supply, of course. Okay. What armor do we have here? Right, so we have some Italian armor. 75 gun. 47. And the 75. Righto. Right, an Italian division over here. Now, the Italians have fairly weak troops. Right, so we have a Sturm Brigade over here. What do we have in this? So we have some Panzerjägers with some 30AT, so Marder's 30AT. Some Wesp. Motorized rifle. Do we actually have any armor in here? No, I'm just seeing what they actually have. Okay. Okay, so we do have some armored vehicles in here. But I'd say, yeah, I mean, let's see. We have 21 Stug 3Gs in here, 9 Marders, 8 self-propelled artillery pieces, so that's fairly decent, I suppose. So we will have them shifted over here to Porto Vecchio, whatever. Right then, so we need to review our air doctrines. Oh, actually, let's take a look over here. So this is the Eastern Front control over here. So we can see here the situation is, in fact, critical. As we can see here, the front conditions. So we have our values here. We can see the number of divisions we have in the east and the number of divisions required. And the HQs required. The strength that we have over there, and as well as the aircraft. Now, I'm going to transfer divisions from France. I'd like to send them to Italy. But a few of them can be spared. Right, so the 24th Panzer. You have decent morale, but supply. Okay, now, let's see. Is it E or 8? Ah, here we go. Right, yes, so it is indeed 8. So, this, ladies and gentlemen, is not the work of Peter Parker. This is, in fact, the supply map mode. There bloody is one. I knew there would be one somewhere. It's fantastic. But yes, let's take a look over here at Sicily, for instance. So, if we press... I do apologise. There we go. Right, so if I press 8 over here, so we can see here that we are receiving supplies from Naples. Some supplies are being sent over here, but the vast majority are being sent from Naples itself. I'm so bloody glad I found this logistics map mode. It's absolutely superb. It's fantastic. So we can see the situation in France is not great. If we go over here to rails, we can see here that we do have control of the rail lines, but we do not, in fact, have depots. Kinda. Okay, so you can see here it's divided into sectors. Now, the black bar here represents the number of supplies being, well, that can be handled there. I didn't watch the little video long enough to find out what the other bars do. I think this probably means the amounts that are produced. Possibly. Right. I'll look at that one in time, and I'll figure it out. But we can see here we have depots. So I think we will have to sort out the supply situation. Right, yeah, so I believe we produce supplies and possibly fuel over here. That would make sense. Basically from the capitals. Yeah, from here and Düsseldorf. Some in Paris, but not much. Yeah, basically the principal cities. Okay, now these rail lines. Average roads. Interesting. Now if I have 8 on again, we can see here. So Naples is the absolute priority here. There is nothing more important than Naples. I mean, even Rome is of secondary importance here. Actually... Well, no, Rome does produce supplies, but nowhere near as much as Naples. Taranto is not bad either. So, let's see. So, from the port of Naples, we have a capacity of 35,000 with the rail. We received 216,000 tons. We've stored about 10% of that, and we've sent out about 77,000 tons. 77,552 tons. Their capacity is 230,000 tons. So I need to establish some proper depots on the island here. Now these are our depots due to that they are ports. So let's see here. Palmiro, whatever. There's a lot here. That would be to the airbase, I do believe. We could expand the airbase. But if I click onto you, we'll take a look at your supplies. Right, that's not good. We have all the fuel we ever need, mostly because we don't need fuel, so that's fine. Okay, I'd like to establish a depot on the island. Probably a little bit further up here. But anyway, we'll do that one in a little while. For now, we need to take a look at our air doctrines. Let's take a look at what we have available to us in the theatre then, shall we? So if I go for... I could go for strategic bombing, basically make it difficult for the Allies to receive reinforcements, supplies. As of right now, they hold 1, 2... this is a temporary port. So they hold 3 proper ports and 1 temporary port. Can I find out anything about these ports? Namely, do we have a level of a port? I'm not getting any information about the port here. Righto. Ah, right, here we go. Right, so it's a temporary port actually over here. Actually, no, I do believe there's a port here, but there's a temporary port here as well, possibly. The port over here is size 3. Ah, no, never mind. So this is a size 2 temporary port. We have a size 2 over here, and we have a size 1 over here. So, this is the priority port over here that we need to take back to start to affect the Ally supply situation over here. So, I think we'd be possibly better off trying to establish some air superiority in the area. So I think that will be of great value. Now the Allies will be sending planes from Malta, from Tunisia. Basically they have the range. What is the weather like? The weather in the air. Okay, so it seems clear. So the weather is clear. Okay. The weather on the ground is also clear. Righto. Now I could go for the coastal patrol, which could be fairly useful actually, in case they try to land more, or I could try and hit these amphibious HQs over here. So I think we'll establish air superiority first in this area, or at least try to, and then we'll sort that one out. Right, so air superiority directive. Now, let's see. So we have Italian Luftwaffe Command over here. There we go. So we have about 194 BF-109 G6s. Now this is quite interesting actually. I noticed this when I first loaded up the scenario. It doesn't seem as though the Reich actually has fighters. It seems as though we've favoured fighter bombers, especially the Bf 109G. Sorry, the Bf 109G. Now, what I may do is have a few squadrons reassigned from Berlin, or at least from Berlin's theatre. Night fighters would not be bad, actually. Transports could be quite nice. Level bombers would be fairly handy. So you can see the range of the level bombers here. Okay. Where is air transfer? Okay, there we go. Right. Aircraft. Okay. So we can see the different air bases and air groups. So I'm going to go for air group. Okay. You are based over here. So we can see we have 62 planes here, 40, 48, 2, 47. I've just literally happened upon this mode. I'm making out as if I know what I'm doing here, but this is fantastic. I'm liking this. I could get used to this one, but bloody hell, we can actually get an indication of the allied numbers of planes. Right, so we have about 386 possible planes over here. That's a bloody lot of planes. We do have 404 here. Right. Oh, never mind. No, it could never be that good, could it? Okay. 163 here, however. Right, Junkers 88s. So we can see their range from all of those. Okay. Yes, so these are our level bombers. Fair enough. Okay. So we're going to come off of you. Okay, so this is the second over here. Now, I do believe I will select them all. Okay. And I will try to transfer them. To... Where do I want to transfer them, if I can even do so? I should be able to do so. Can I transfer them down here? Right, so we transferred 3 air units over here. Okay. Ah! Right, I see. So we've selected the airbase here. Select all the planes. We'll have them transferred over here. Right, so now we have 102 planes over here. I will take all these planes. So we're going to basically sort out our air force first. And then we'll decide what we want to do. Now, what do we have here? These are reconnaissance aircraft. Okay, yep, sure, I'll take them. There we go. So we have no more in the north. Okay. Rightio. I tell you, this mode is fantastic. I really did not know about this. This is just something I've just happened upon, and I am bloody loving it. Oh my god, the complexity is just... just let it wash over you. Right then, so I think I can take these planes from over here. What do we actually have here? Are these Donia's 217s? Possibly? Yes, so these are level bombers. Yes, okay. I will take them. Thank you. Whoops. Okay. Right, that'll do for now. No. Select all. That's not quite selecting all, but will do. So imagine that's going to mean that we're overloaded over here. Probably. So I'll take some from over here. Right, so we have BF-109s, BF-110s. Right, actually, are these heavy fighters? I think these are heavy fighters. No, yes, they're fighter bombers, but I do believe they're heavy fighters. Yes, they have a 220mm cannon, 4 7.92 MG17s, 2 7.92 MG81s. Okay, they are trained as fighters. Okay. Take these squadrons. Okay. We will have you transferred. I do have an airbase over here, but it's in danger. This airbase is... Right, so we do have a good number of planes over here, actually. Which makes that vital. I think we'll fly from Palmyra. Now these are Italian fighters. I will have them sent over here as well. Right. So what I need to do now is basically sort out the commands of these squadrons. Right, okay. So you will be transferred over here. I think we're good. I'll have another transferred out, actually. Ideally, I need to build up my air bases, actually. We'll have you transferred over here. Okay, now that's good then. That's good. So I think that's the amount of planes that we can handle. That's fine. No air support. Okay. Yes, we're good over here as well. Just under the cap here. Right, Sicilian Air Force. Sicilian Air Force is under OKL. Okay. So come out of this. And what I need to do now is go over to information, order of battle, and right. Ah, okay, so that represents Fallschirmjägers in there as well. So we'll just turn that off for the time being. And I'm also going to need this. Looking for Aeronautica. Right, so these are the Italian air bases and commands. So, Regia Aeronautica has 705 fighters, 317 bombers, 269 auxiliary. Okay, so these are all the air bases over here. Righto. So, if I identify which air bases we need, then we can do that. But yes guys, thank you so very much for watching so far. I do realise it's probably been quite boring, but if you've enjoyed this, then do let me know down in the comments. And thank you for sticking by me. So goodbye for now guys, until next time.